faded.
Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Karl, you're concentrating.
A lot of tears, mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into that, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Karl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, alright. A lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Karl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Karl off air. Save it all from when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What did she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
She was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But how do you think we know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what, in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
But isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Carl, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in the deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. The cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
So she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did you get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it.
Her diaries are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries. Do you know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no. Right. I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
No one's gonna find a diary and go, oh god.
I can't believe it, Karl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Karl thinks I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. Do you know what I mean?
It's fantastic! The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
New from Sony, that'd be great, wouldn't it? All her greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
well,
dear.
leave that then. I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know...
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing? Thorns, from my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests. In fact, yeah, one of them a celebrity request, Matt Lucas from, Little Britain, is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So, is it your last show? I said, yeah. I said, do you want me to play a record? And he said, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now, remember, him and David are
the new darlings of comedy.
Yeah.
They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain, they're comedy geniuses, they're only gonna get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, there's gonna be something weird in it if you're saying this.
Well.
So, how old's the band?
They're probably about as old as him.
How old's he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why did you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's the Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I don't hang out with him.
He thinks he's,
yeah.
it's like the closest thing he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He won't
isn't he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was honest, I said, I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little, but in 2-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the main
They were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had, sort of 3 big hits in sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
When you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records, there's,
and
you
the
know,
Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about, Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Carl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no.
She doesn't go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got on with her, but she thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, if I just briefly, you mentioned Hubbard. Now Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog a bone.
But when she got there,
the cupboard was
bare, and so the poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than because that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an adventure?
Oh, what, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
That's all of it.
I think so. Oh, when they went to the cupboard to get a bone, when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that,
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost
short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's over, isn't it? It's that's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food
she
in.
She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously Ring a Ring of Roses. It dates
Plague.
back to plague times, so I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. Well, this is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman's animal.
I don't know. My concern is more, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties of, say, Surrey, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm just saying, I'm trying to go, is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and
God.
also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it
nursery
like an Edward Lear thing, or that's before that, is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, all the King's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
Enough. They're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be standing on it.
They are going to make it worse.
It's not
They're just standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or...
if it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. Go illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose because the moral of that is if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, get down from the wall. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'd be no medical
way to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Carl. What was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
You're joking.
You surprised me.
You're joking.
What's the one with loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one of the bears and the little one said roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's
But
just...
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one, little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, roll over.
Now where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That you can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over, there was one in the bed, and there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said, roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Carl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on.
Very briefly, Carl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's gonna make me some new clothes? Various people come to me, says, I don't know that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, you know, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching, he goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they asked that only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. It's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding it, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's, you know, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and 2 veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was...
Oh. Okay, play record.
Play a record, Carl.
Play a record.
Carl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
A couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Carl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration.
Yeah. I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16. I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out that knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mate's brothers came around, he said, where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him. Yeah. And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock. Yeah. And then, is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar? I don't think it is. I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure. Yeah. Tracy and John Burton say that they, reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle, in Colchester, where they lived. That makes sense. Yeah. That would make a lot more sense. Sat on a wall, a great fall, King's One couldn't put hands together again. So, he had they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded. Maybe the cannon fell apart.
Because people used to get blown up by cannons just doing it wrong, didn't they?
Sure.
Which is hoist by your own petard.
Right.
Where that comes from.
Right.
Coming back and blowing up in your face.
So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then.
Yeah, and the horses.
I think the horses just came along anyway.
Well,
They were just interested.
that was quicker.
Sure.
The quick King's Men, it took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing they could do.
Yeah.
So we got to the bottom of that. See, the educational, Carl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, doesn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary, quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, oh, man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm going to digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant. Delays. Long time coming on XFM 104.9. With Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone, the cupboard was empty.
Yeah.
As we all know. And
So the dog didn't have any. End of story, so the dog didn't have any.
Well, no,
Hold on,
wait.
go on, what?
It turns out
what?
there's what appears to be something like 15 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to go through all of them, Rick.
Right, any information?
Well, basically, I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
Hang on, so the dog was winding her up then at the beginning, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck.
But-
especially if she's already depressed.
But, do you know, if I was that dog, right, and I live with Old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard.
Exactly.
Right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. Get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So, I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Our House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I just said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it rhyme at least,
well,
and
does
also
it?
get a little, you know, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh,
I'm beginning to wonder
he's
if...
bent. He's bent.
I'm beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay.
No, it is the flute, it's not, now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went...
Oh, no.
She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little, oh, what?
She went to the hatter's to buy him a hat. When she came back, he was feeding the cat. I mean...
I can't believe it. So I'm thinking the pipe's a crack pipe.
Hang on a minute. I think the gay thing's beginning to stand up.
Go on.
She went to the barber's to buy him a wig. When she came back...
He was having a frig.
He was dancing a jig. He's dancing a jig. You're dancing a jig.
Oh, he's dancing a jig, smoking a pipe, shagging a go.
This is a bit of left field one though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes.
Why does he need shoes? I bet they're high heels.
Wait a second though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes. When she came back, you're never going to believe this.
What?
He was reading the news.
Brilliant!
She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen. Again, don't know why. When she came back, the dog was a-spinning.
Yeah.
She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose. When she came back, he was dressed in his clothes.
Yeah! Why did she want to
But this is the big payoff that we've been building to.
Right.
The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow, the dame said, "Your servant," the dog said, "Bow wow."
Right.
I mean...
Okay.
I'm
gonna probably do a few more verses during the next
during
song.
the course of the show?
Yeah.
Listen, before we move on, I should just say that we've had various people saying what was in the bed and what was the final line of the bed thing.
Why do they care?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? We've talked about politics in the past, great music, we've played great songs.
Yeah, we've got Monkey News coming up talking about politics.
But Danny's said that apparently it ends with one in the bed, little one said good night.
Because he was all happy, he had the
he
bed to
went
himself,
in
and
there.
there's nine of his mates piled on the floor.
Rick, but Ava counters that by saying, actually, one in the bed, the little one said, come back, because he felt lonely. So...
We're never going to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know, Rick.
This is the same as the Kennedy thing. There's loads of different opinions.
Conspiracy theories.
I know, we don't know what's going on. But Jimmy Webb would go, Jimmy Webb, Galveston. Fantastic version on XFM. 104.9. You know what, Steve? I know, you know, people are going to miss the talk about little Chinese fellas, little gay fellas, little monkey fellas, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to miss some great tunes as well.
I'd hope so.
She went to the jeweller's to buy him a clock. But when she got back...
What was he sucking?
a Jock Ice.
A Jock Ice, fine.
So...
Fine, respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of feel like, you know, one thing we've never done, Rick, is we've never pandered to people, but as it's the last show, we've got to give the audience what they want.
What's this?
Well, yeah, and I was going to say things they don't want as well. And, you know, well, just basically to keep a smile on Carl's face.
Yeah.
I say a smile, a sort of, not quite a scowl.
Yeah, he never really smiles.
So, yeah, it's just really as a chance for him to have a go. It's like, you know, you indulge an annoying child.
The only time Carl laughs is for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
What do you think, like...
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you go... and I know you'll be thinking of what a monkey could do.
Yeah, it's like people who've had electroshock therapy.
Yeah! Oh, it's such a tied down biting on something.
Yeah.
Biting on a big leather pad.
Let me just tell you briefly what the prizes are. It's the number.
That looks like a piece of shit.
Let me tell you, Rick, let me tell you. There's a number of mediocre CDs and DVDs.
That is real
But mainly, what about this? It's the Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition.
Oh.
What, the movies you're thinking? No, it's the Radio 4 adaptation. It's only 14 hours long, Rick.
Oh, that is... Throw that away.
So,
pop that in the bin.
That
is just... Either pop it in the bin or send it to some poor bastard who wins this quiz.
Exactly. If you're willing to take part in the quiz, you deserve 14 hours of your life wasted with that Tolkien tripe. So,
right.
Yeah, what are the clues then, Carl?
Right, as always, just, you know, cryptic clues and that. Initials of a band or an artist, work it out, win the stuff.
Yeah. Email only.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. First clue is as follows. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for...
It's the good old Jamaican fella. The Jamaican fella.
It's the last show and the little Jamaican fella's made an appearance.
This normally suggests that you need to think of the answer in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah,
so
any
hang on,
accent. Or an accent. Or pronounce the word slightly differently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Alright?
Yeah.
DC is on the initials.
DC? D for Derek?
Yeah, okay. DC. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. That's the first one. Second one. 3 of them. Second one is, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, The Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. We should all vote for them. Why is that? What was...
I've just got the first one.
ES.
ES?
Right? ES.
Okay.
And the last one, Steve, what did your dad do? Huh?
Steve, what did my dad do?
What did your dad do?
Is that the question, or are you asking me?
Well, Ricky, what did your dad do? It can work on anyone. What did your dad do?
Alright.
Right? That's E. Right?
What did your dad do?
Quickly again, the Jamaican fellow wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Right? DC. Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, Great Soprano. No, but that's important. Right? ES, and the last one, you know, Steve, what did your dad do? Right?
Okay.
The initial E.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We don't want to speak to you. Please don't phone up.
Remember, you could win some Lord of the Rings tripe.
There's no more on XFM. Last Rockbusters ever, thank Christ. Thanks no more on their version of I'm Easy on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Rick, for
the last time.
We've only really got 3 topics of discussion on this show. I think you agree with that.
Little Chinese fellas.
Little Chinese fellas.
Monkeys.
Monkeys.
And the gays.
The gay people.
Yeah.
We're hoping to cover all those subjects today. Monkey News is coming later. I'm sure we can find something to discuss about gay people.
We've done gays, we've done a few gays.
I suppose we talked about the dog thing.
Yeah, big time.
I think you'll be enjoyable. This is something that's got sent through to us. I'm not quite sure who by, but thanks very much for it. It's a story that was in the press recently. I'm not going to give you the headline. I think it gives away too much. I think, Carl, you'll be particularly interested in it. A farmer in eastern China,
here we go.
Basically, he paid £1,300, or the Chinese equivalent, to marry a woman, and basically she refused to sleep with him after the wedding, complaining that she felt unwell. 6 days after the ceremony, she tried to run away, but the farmer followed her. He found her in some neighbouring town. They grappled together. The bogus bride's false breasts fell off.
And he's hard.
It
Not his hard up to his old tricks.
It wasn't his hard.
Trying to do another show in Chinese this time.
But it was a man.
Oh,
and,
no.
Apparently, it was an arranged marriage. I don't know who sorted that out.
Did he get his money back?
I think
Because I think men are cheaper than women, to marry in China, I think, on this.
But, yeah, I mean, you've gotta be pretty simple not to realise that the person you're marrying's a bloke, surely.
Well, no, if he didn't have a little look, what was, you know, in the back of the store, he just saw the shop window, sort of lovely little Chinese lady there.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
The lovely hair, real breasts.
Well, there's lumps where the breasts should be.
Yeah.
I can only assume they are breasts.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not, you see women walking around going, what are they, breasts, or are they, stealing sort of grapefruits? No, but
wouldn't there have been a lot, I mean, wouldn't there be quite a sort of long initiation period when they first get introduced and so on?
Not if he put his money down. He came and they said, right, I want a bird quickly, here's a grand.
Sure.
Get me one. They're not going to say, do you want real breasts, or they're just going to assume.
Sure.
Yeah, here's one.
Yeah.
Here's a little Chinese
But who is
lady.
he paying? Where is he buying this woman from?
From the Chinese lady shop.
From the Chinese lady shop.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I think there's one in Chinatown, I think.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
not really a town.
Not exactly a town, more a novelty street.
And the roads are very slippery.
Very sticky.
I tell you what, though.
What?
I was looking at their menus when I was walking home. They don't waste anything, do they?
Why?
Duck's tongue on the menu.
Yeah, but it's better when you say it. Alright, duck's tongue. A duck's tongue, really?
You sure that wasn't the proprietor?
Coldplay, warning sign on XFM, 104.9. Carl, look at that. What is it? What is it?
An apple.
Right, okay. What am I doing to it?
You're messing with it.
Yeah, and what's happening to it?
It's gone up a bit.
Yeah! Would you kiss it for 100 quid?
No.
How's it going? Would you just kiss
No,
it?
I wouldn't.
Why? 100 quid?
What are we doing this for?
I think I read this same feature on Wogan, I'm not sure. Seriously, Carl, I'm intrigued to know, how much would you have to be
just
paid
kiss
to
it.
kiss Ricky's nipple?
Not suck it or lick it or anything like that. Just, like that, just on the nipple.
£5 grand.
£5 to kiss my nipple? Well, if you do it for 5, you do it for 1. £1,000 cash to kiss my nipple.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're joking? £1,000 to kiss my nipple? Come on, it's the last show.
No, I'm not doing it.
2,000.
If you had the money there, and, like, if you had it there now, I might do it.
For what?
I'm not doing it.
500 quid.
No. Stop taking it down.
What's happening to...
£2 grand.
2 grand? So you're going down from 5 to 2 straight away. Look.
Steve, what's going on?
I
Carl,
seriously think I'd like to see you kiss his nipple
Well,
for
it's not
2,000
going to happen, is it? So,
if Steve wants it and I want it, that's
not
2 to
gonna
1.
happen. It's not going to happen.
I thought it was a democracy, this show.
You're not educating Ricky or what?
Email in if you'd like to see, or rather hear, Carl
bother.
kiss Ricky's nipple for
Don't bother, because it's
£2,000.
not going to happen.
Come on, Carl.
Right.
It's not like he's Jono's nipple.
No.
It's next. Okay.
Would you kiss this for,
right,
25
okay,
quid.
wrong, but now what are you doing? What are you doing educating Ricky?
Do you want to set that
Why
up?
were you looking, by the way? Why were you looking at that? You didn't have to look at that.
What are we doing?
Go on.
Right, this is when I teach Ricky stuff. Just give him some headlines to sort of tease him into what's going on this week that you might want to know about.
Yeah, go on.
Is that important?
Yeah.
Right, you got that?
Headline one.
That'll be something to do with ants. So,
Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way.
right, okay, that'll be sort of about sucking mints.
Hook, line, and good thinkers.
Okay.
So which of those are you choosing?
I'll have the, is that important?
What, you want to do it now? I was just gonna leave it.
Yeah,
let's
go on,
do
let's
one
give
of
it
them.
this one now, yeah, come on. It's
Alright.
Christmas Eve, open one, come on.
You know I don't like anteaters.
Why?
Okay, so I should just point out to people that as far as Carl is convinced, the stories that he's about to relate are absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
You be the judge of whether
He's
you
seen
think
them on the
that's right.
internet, of course they're true, go on.
Anteaters, yeah.
Why don't you like them?
I've told you before, I just don't sort of... It annoys me that an animal's named after what it eats. You don't need
Yeah,
it.
but it didn't choose it, did it?
Yeah, but if there's nothing else that it can be called, it's like, oh, what's it do? I don't know. What's it eating? It's eating ants, right, let's call it an anteater. It's not good enough.
But why are you annoyed at it, though, for someone else calling it being lazy?
Because it obviously doesn't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
But what do you want to call? The Chartered Surveyor?
Well, whatever, just a proper name.
What's the proper name?
Well, I'm just saying...
But tell me an animal that's a proper name to you.
Beaver. That's pretty good.
Why is that a proper name?
It doesn't matter anyway, I don't understand what they're about.
You and Anteaters have got issues.
Right, okay. Sometimes I genuinely don't understand what his thought processes are. Go on, right, okay, you don't like anteaters because they just eat ants and that's what they're named after, go on.
Right. Do you know that an anteater can, stick its tongue in and out 160 times in a minute?
No, didn't know that.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Thanks.
No, but do you think that's good? I
don't know
what do you mean? So I call Norris McWhirter? What do you mean, do I think that's good? What, compared to what?
You see, I read it and thought, so what? So it's interesting.
Well, we think so what as well.
So you still put it down as something interesting to tell me?
No, but it's the fact that is meant to be amazing. I did 148. I did 148 last night in a minute, right?
God. Oh, well, hold on. There's my nipple. How many could you do if it meant you had to touch my nipple at the end? £2,000. Burn Baby Bear on XFM 104.9. We do talk twaddle.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know why we haven't got complaints. We haven't got any complaints, have we? We've had one.
No one listening.
No, it must be that, because Kilroy, he's probably got a big show, and it's all over the place, you know, mind you, you know, I'd be annoyed if he'd have said that about me.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful who he annoys, because he will end up having to move him with Salman Rushdie. Do you know what I mean?
Is Salman, is he still on the run?
No, he's out. I've seen him twice. I think he's out all the time now. I bet his flat's a pigsty.
Sure.
It was not neat when he was living with 400 CIA people and a couple of...
You remember he went into hiding, I think it was mid-80s, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
He went into hiding, he was in there, he was hiding, basically, surrounded by security guards, confined to his flat, for about 10 years or something.
I'd have thought so, yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of his missus?
Yeah, are you annoyed?
Well, I mean, man alive, she's like I think she's like a former Miss India or something. Stunning.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of him? I mean, he might be a great man and a talented writer and an intellectual fella, but, Jesus. Do something with the beard.
Well, yeah, but he's busy, isn't he?
What?
He's busy writing
How
stuff.
did he pull her? When he was just basically in there? In his flat?
I don't know. Internet?
Possibly.
Just got to know him, and then she kept saying, send a picture. He goes, no, I'm not sending a picture, come round.
Yeah. Read some of the books, they're brilliant.
They're brilliant. She goes, well, yeah, now I'm in love with you. Let's have a look. Alright, well, I'm in love with you now, so...
Yeah. You know, he's going, got my own place.
Got my own place, yeah. I got a few staff.
Yeah,
there's a few other people hanging around.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
I'm in a lot.
I'll tell you something else that'll annoy you.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking, not only married, but dumped her for his, nurse.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
So he's pulling birds left, right and centre.
Well, you know, it's true that I mean, not so much now, but years ago I was not the ladies' man.
But you are now.
Really.
You weren't sort of suave and sophisticated. You weren't,
exactly.
You weren't the James Bond type that you've,
I wasn't the James Bond of TV comedy.
Because I remember Karl, when you first met him about 3 years ago, what did you think?
Just a bit odd.
I love it.
And that's coming from him.
I know. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what used to really annoy me. Talking of, do you remember there was that story? I think it was a world record-breaking attempt. There was a bloke. I think it was up in a car park, in a pub car park, in sort of Leeds or something.
No, Mansfield. It was the car park in Mansfield, and he broke the record for being buried alive.
Being buried alive.
I mean, and he was literally in a casket, like, not David Blaine, out in the lovely sunshine with Jonathan Ross waving to you.
Yeah.
No, none of that. Paul McCartney calling you
stuff.
you know what I mean? He was buried alive, in the dark, with just a tube.
Yeah.
For communication,
I think he was buried about 10 feet underground. There's a tube which people would communicate and send stuff
down. And put water down and
I remember reading the story, I was interested in it, I remember reading it, and there was one element of the story.
You would think it was a cheap holiday. Well... You're not going to pay those prices. 400 quid, host seasons, you're having a laugh. That's nothing. Mansfield car park.
And, there was an element, it said in the news report, it said that while he was down in the ground, he began and ended a relationship with a woman. while he was down there, some fan who was a fan of what he was doing, he started communicating with her through the tube. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but they began a relationship, and it ended. And I have to say, I remember thinking, you know, when you read that there's a man...
How did it end?
Well,
why did she go that this isn't working? Yeah, that's twice you've stood me up.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get out, can I?
But I remember thinking at the time, you know, I was to say, I was not the sort of, the ladies' man that I am now. I remember at the time reading it and thinking, there's a bloke, you know, he's pulling women 10 feet underground through a tube.
Through a tube. I'm out and about.
Yeah.
With some of the most expensive hair products on the market.
I've got to sit down and ask myself some very serious questions.
Oh dear.
Extraordinary. I don't know if he did the world record attempt. I don't know if he broke it. I don't know how that happened, but, good luck to him.
What do you mean a hole though? Like what? A proper thing, or is he moving about? How big is it?
No, it was just I think it was just buried alive in a casket. I don't know, just down there, probably laying on his back maybe, just waiting for little bits of water.
But could he get out if he wanted to?
Well, yeah, he could say, "Can you get me out?" He couldn't just leave and then come back. There was people.
So someone's there then?
No, they buried him and said, "Wow, we better go back in a couple of weeks, see how he's doing." What do you mean, someone's there? Of course, there's someone there. Norris McWhirter, for one, I'd imagine, going 3 days. Just a few more to go.
And why
is it Norris or who's alive? Ross or Norris?
I think it's Norris.
Right,
you're thinking of, yeah. What's that?
It annoys me a bit, all this sort of, you know, getting in a hole and in a box and all that, and people going, oh, that's good. I mean, if he was doing something when he was down there, making something or whatever, you'd go, that's quite clever, but I don't understand all the fuss about, I don't know, people are just making a fuss about things that aren't that clever these days. It's just, you know what I mean?
I don't reckon he beat Anne Frank's record.
No, I think she's got the record.
I know, yeah, and she did something, she wrote a book.
So,
you must think that she's pretty good then.
Yeah, but at least she did something.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. There's some fuss, about a woman who's going up Everest on a bike, right? Someone's walked it. That's harder than going on a bike.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
Of course it's not.
Of course it is.
Not
Walking's
uphill.
better than... Riding about on a bike's better than walking everywhere.
Yeah, but not uphill.
Well...
No? Don't agree with me. Why do people get off their bike and walk it up a hill?
They don't always, I see people...
No, but why do they? When people are going up a hill on a bike, but they get off and push the bike...
Just saying.
No, why is that?
Doesn't matter.
Do you think it's because it's harder? They go, I'll tell you what, this would be a lot easier on the bike, but I'll tell you what, I want a bit of a challenge. I'll get off and walk up this hill. You dopey.
Go along then. Clap for her and that. You know what I mean? When someone's doing a London Marathon in a car, you can go and clap them, because that's just the same as far as I'm concerned. It's not hard.
Play a record.
Imbecile.
So Alive, Ryan Adams on XFM, 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, for the last time.
Well, you might do some other stuff later.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, for a little while at least.
Well, we won't be around for, foreseeable future. Better things to do, bigger fish to fry.
Oh, well, you got your music show that you'll do, that should be good.
Yeah.
The other radio stations are more interesting.
I think we've just got enough energy left for the last 35 minutes.
Yeah.
We've given them a lot, Steve.
We've given them a lot.
We've come in here, week in, week out, every Saturday. Never late.
We've always given them, 30%.
Really
poor. 30% of energy.
Yeah. How did that start? People going, you've got to give 110%.
Yeah.
It just my heart sinks when I go, 100%. I say, you've got to give 110%. I can't. I'll give, I'll tell you what, I probably won't even give 100, because you never know, but I'll give as close to 100 as I can stand.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying that to a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give nearly 100. And that's, that's more than most, I think you'll find.
Maybe if you appear on Celebrity Fact Club.
Well, I don't think I need to, do I?
Well.
Carl, do you think I need to go on that?
When you had your nipple out.
It was pointing downwards, was it?
A little bit.
Even though it was erect, it was pointing toward my knees.
Can I just point out that we've had more requests for Carl to kiss your nipple than we have answers to Rockbusters?
Ain't gonna happen.
Well, it's the last show, Carl. You've got to give the punters what they want.
In the webcam, and just a little peck on the nip. A little
Carl,
peck.
that is just out of order. The show must go on. You've got to give people what they want.
I'm doing it.
Why? Why not?
What's wrong with
Lips on nipple. What's up with lips on nipple?
You hear about stuff like this, and then like I might enjoy it, and then next thing it's like, Suzanne, can you leave? Because you know what I mean. I like fellas. So that happens, innit? So that
That's like an episode of Kilroy. Oh God. Oh, Emma.
I'll tell you this.
Pilkington, are you thinking?
I'm thinking exactly the same as you're thinking. I was reading the paper today. The show's been axed.
It's axed.
But they're keeping the show on at the same time. It's gonna have a different name, different host. Hello.
Pilkington.
Come on.
Hello, welcome to Pilkington. Oh, Carl, what would you do? If we give you a subject, will you just run through what you might say about it, or what questions you asked?
Well, what sort of stuff?
Okay, sort of like, Steve's, 15, I'm 15, and my dad wants to have a sex change. So I'll play the dad, right? I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff from Luton. I'm, a 54-year-old plumber. And, I've decided, and this is my son,
Paul.
Paul. Paul, you sure to be Paul?
Yeah, I thought it to be Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ask me some questions.
So what's going on?
Well, I'm not happy with this body. I've always felt that I was a woman trapped in a man's body.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and, I think I'd be happier, as a woman, and, you know, it's for him to accept it, really, because I'd have accepted anything that he wanted to do, or, you know, and it doesn't change anything.
Not,
no, I know, but I mean, it won't change anything. You know, I still love you, and I'll still be your father.
I can't believe I agreed to come on national TV. I'm gonna get taken out of me at school.
Oh, really?
Man alive.
Well, you know, with that, you gotta go through lots of stuff, but I mean, don't think of me any different.
What does Mum think of all this?
Well, Mum doesn't want it really, but I mean, I'm not gonna throw away the knob and bollocks, so I'm gonna keep that for her in case she ever wants to use that, but I just don't want them attached to me. I'm gonna have them off, I'm gonna have some lovely pair of tits put on, and a nice little minge down there, but I'm not bent. I still fancy my wife and that, and, you know.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, brilliant!
That's your audition for Pilkington.
Well, what can I say? I'm not a doctor, right?
But what would you want? Come on, ask me questions about what?
Discussions I'm upset with my dad because he wants to become a woman.
But we'll say stuff like, well, yeah, but you mean, you've had a son and he's going through an awful day. Should you think of him? Shouldn't you put his feelings?
Should you think of your son before you go doing that?
Yeah, but if I'm not happy with who I am, how can I live a lie? I'd go through my whole life living a lie just because he might go through a little bit of embarrassment. You know, he's old enough to realise now that you know, I love him, and I just need to have some tits and a minge on me.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Oh, Christ almighty!
Well, what
Play a record!
I'm not sure Buster's answer. Let's see what Buster's answers.
Rubbish.
I don't want the gig anyway.
Like they were seriously considering him.
Thanks for coming in! Brilliant! Go on.
Did I tell you my dad's always been asked to go on that?
Why?
He's always been asked to go on.
Is he a woman trapped in a man's body?
No, they want to talk about you. So was it disappointing? Go on.
Anyway, Rockbusters, right? Right, first clue was, Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights.
Yeah.
Right, that was the cryptic clue. The initials were DC.
Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, no, you tell me.
It's Define Comedy. Alright?
Define comedy.
It's a divine comedy. Alright?
What is that?
That's a
do the accent again.
Oh, it's just divine comedy.
Why are you talking?
That's
Do it again, do the accent
I'm
again.
not doing it again, you've got the answer, it doesn't matter, let's move on. Right? Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper and Darren Brown. Why is that? ES were the initials.
Go on.
Elec, Trick 6. Right?
What?
Elec, Trick 6, it works, so don't say it like that.
I don't know what it means.
Right, well there's 6 people there who do tricks and that. Right, I'm saying we should vote for them, so you elect them.
Yeah, but he said elect.
Yeah, Electric 6.
No, elect though. Elect's not a word, is it?
And the last one,
I don't think elect's a word, elect.
Steve.
You don't mean Alec, do you? It's not Alec Park. You're not trying to do Alec Park, the one.
Third one, Steve, what did your dad do?
I don't know.
That was E. Could work for anyone, it didn't have to be Steve, right? That was, Erasure. Right? Erasure.
Erasure? No, it doesn't work either. It doesn't work either. No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Who's the winner?
None of them work. None of them work. Another pile of crap from the mind of little stupid.
Go on, Steve.
I'll give the prices
dopey little
I'm going to give the prizes to Martin Williams from Flintshire. I don't know where Flintshire is. He says that he's promised to listen to the Lord of the Rings. By listen, he means sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
So, thanks for coming in.
Stupid. The end of Rockbusters from the stupid little shitty brain. I'm going to say it of Pilkington. Possibly my favourite song of all time, after the Gold Rush by Neil Young, and that's for Carl's lookalike, Boyd, who's actually on Justin Lee Collins' show after us, about 5.
He's not really a lookalike.
He is. Yeah.
He's got a bald head. Look like Gandhi.
He's in the toga, he does. A little bit.
I don't think Gandhi wore a toga.
No. So what are you,
What did he do?
Oh, dear.
What
He just sat around, to be honest, Carl.
Didn't want to get involved.
Didn't do much.
Just said, don't have a go, just be careful.
Yeah.
Don't go mental, don't start fighting, let's all calm down a little bit. He's the one in the pub that goes, okay, stop this, stop mucking around.
We were educating Ricky earlier, Carl. I wonder if we should resume that, as the clock is ticking away.
Alright, you've got 2 bits of info that you could be, leaving the building with today, right? You've got, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I have that one.
They've brought out this drug or, sort of tablet or something.
Yeah, you've got to do it then, yeah, go on.
Carefully researched.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Which means, like, an 8-year-old woman can have a kid. What do you think of that?
No, it doesn't.
What are you talking about?
You can inject a woman with something, 80-year-old, and it means, you know, she's got more time on her hands now and that. It's better to have a kid. She can have a kid later on in life.
I just realised, where there's a will.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Right, well, let's just move on from that, because he's clearly drivel.
No,
it's not.
I think it's a bad idea. Of course it's a bad idea.
Mm.
I'll even give you that it's true and possible and might even...
It is true and possible.
Okay,
it's not even recent, it's like a few weeks old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's terrible. No, you shouldn't do it, yeah.
Alright, what's the final educating Ricky? So far, I'm not impressed.
Get her a cat.
Yeah,
get her a little Pekingese. Don't let her have a child.
Yeah, but it's meant to get you thinking, like you're saying, well, she shouldn't have a kid. Or
By the time she's 5, she'll try and pick it up and her arms will break.
whose arms?
Moving on, what's the next one?
Would she get a breastfeed?
Yeah, and she'd be able to do it standing up while he was on the floor.
Talking to nipples.
Come on!
There's a lovely juicy pair over there.
Okay, I think this is the last show. People should actually phone in and speak to Carl and try and convince him.
forget that.
Yeah, what's the number, Steve?
Forget that, we haven't got time.
Yeah, he hates to answer it. We'll do it during the record.
Leave it.
Phone in if you want to speak to Carl, if you have a number. Call in, try and convince Carl to kiss a little nipple.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Right, what are we doing? Are we,
What's the last educating Ricky? Come on.
Hook, line and good thinkers.
Brilliant, okay,
Yeah,
go on.
sounds good. Go on, what is it?
They've found a lot of fish with 2 heads. What do you think of that?
Well, don't know. What do you mean they found a lot of fish with 2 heads? Who else?
They've been messing about, basically, these scientists and stuff, and they've said, look at this we can do.
Mm.
And they're making loads of fish with 2 heads. They can do it now, and they're saying, that's good, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Alright, play record then.
Yeah, but what do you think?
I think if they can do that to fish, they should try and do it to you, and then at least you'll have 2 brains to work with.
Yeah.
And we might...
Arguing, I'd love you arguing with yourself. And you end up you're walking on the street but you're just headbutting each other. Just cracking heads in
the
the middle.
squeezing fun you'd have, really.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd bang them together. It'd be like one of those knackers you used to have at the playground on the string. I'd just whack them together. I hit you in on the window, didn't I, to see what the noise meant today, didn't I?
Yeah. Just if I had 2 heads, right? Would I be able to sort of do shifts? Do you know what I mean? Say if this is a start or something, they're trying it out with fish and that with 2 heads.
You'd be 2 different people. You can't think like you're one. It doesn't make sense. If you had 2 heads, you'd have 2 brains. You'd have, you know.
Well, that's all right. But say if we did the same job, well, we'd be doing the same job.
Yeah, you could.
So you could say, right, you work through the night.
You'd take it in turns to do your job badly and moan about it. Yes, it'd be fine.
He's giving it some serious thought.
I know, yeah. And so's his other head.
Yeah.
But also, they're saying there's, like, a fish shortage. And I was wondering whether they're trying to make that better. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
when they do like
as the head is a bit you throw away, it'd be perfect.
no, but when they do a head count like they do, that's what they do. They do like
They count fish. They get fish. Go, okay, just end the line. 1, 2. I think you'll find we're 1, 2. Don't answer back.
Rick, I should just point out that I feel...
Don't answer back!
Come on, I think Karl has offered nothing there. I think those educating Rickies were appalling. And the only thing that would redeem the show is if he kissed the nipples.
Kiss the nipple phone in if you want to speak to Karl. If you don't remember, call in and try and persuade Karl while this record's on. We'll answer the phone. Phones are still going mad. Answer one. Just put someone out. Kings of Leon, California waiting. He was rude. He's so rude to people. They phone up and they say, "Oh, kiss his nipple," and he goes, "Yeah, all right," and he hangs up on them. Answer the phone. Come on there. Answer the phone and be nice to whoever it is. Be nice to them at least.
Putting people on the air.
Hello.
Karl.
Yeah. Speak to Karl.
Why don't you speak about that human monkey that was on the other day?
Old news, man. How long have you been listening?
Listen, can we forget the monkeys? What do you think of his nipples?
Alright then, just kiss his nipple then for...
I'm not going to kiss his nipple.
I'd do it for 500 quid easy.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, why? Why do you want me to do it anyway? What are you getting out of that?
Oh, come on, mate, 500 quid. It's worth it.
Yeah, but...
He's got the money. You'll probably get more out of him if you want.
It's not about the money, really.
500, think of Suzanne. Suzanne, you come on 500 quid and go, there you go. Just kissed his nipple, 250 quid each.
She gives me more. It's not happening. Right, it's not happening.
Did you just cut him off then?
Well, there's another fella there.
Who's that?
My name's Linda.
Right. Alright, Linda, you alright?
What would make your day, Linda?
If Karl actually gave it a lick, not just a kiss.
Forget it.
If you're on XFM 104.9, pictures of you, and it's Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington hosting the final show. Exciting.
Which means the last film quiz. Karl puts himself in a film.
Claire's on next week, by the way, and then,
Claire Sturgis, then Adam and Joe, brilliant.
Adam and Joe coming back, so that's
excellent.
They're excellent.
Right.
Matt Lucas said he'd do a show. Give him a call and maybe him and Dave Williams.
Yeah,
Big things of the,
Might do that.
Yeah, very good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd be alright, yeah. Right, the film thing, this is when we get like a film, and, I'm in it, right? So I'm doing, we talked, you know, a bit about gay fellas and that today.
Yeah.
So we're doing, When Harry Met Barry.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
And listen to this, and then there'll be a question at the end, and you can win some more stuff. We've got DVDs.
Some more shite.
Some more good CDs and DVDs and that.
Alright, let's hear it.
So, When Harry Met Barry, alright?
We've got 18 hours to kill before we hit New York.
I know, yeah. Brought a few books just to kill a bit of time on the journey.
When I buy a new book, I always read the last page first. That way, in case I die before I finish, I know how it ends.
I read a book like that once. Not on purpose, though. It's just that all the chapters have been put in the wrong order, so it's a bit annoying. Got to chapter 1 before I realised.
Are you finished now?
Yeah, I bought another copy of it and read it in Lanzarote. It was alright. Good read. Listen, we're only staying in New York for a couple of days, aren't we? Because the place does me head in a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just stinks, doesn't it? It's a really dirty city. It's noisy. It's funny, the people who live there call it the city that never sleeps. I'm not surprised with all the noise.
I couldn't agree more.
Listen, I know you're gay in that, right? What is the attraction with New York for you lot? What? Because it is like the gay capital, isn't it? They all love it. Even that Rod Stewart song, you know, that Killing of Georgie, that was set in New York, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, that song was about a gay fella, wasn't it, who moved to New York and ended up getting beaten up. Not a great advert for the place. You keep going there. Weird. Actually, I know why you like it. It's because it's a city that never sleeps, isn't it? You lot like going out late. You sort of run your life at a different timetable to everyone else.
Are you finished now?
No, I'm not being funny. I'm just saying. Just don't think you should live your life like that.
Why not?
Don't start getting angry.
I think I'm entitled to throw a little anger your way. Especially when I'm being told how to live my life.
Yeah, you're right. It is your life. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be dragging me into it.
What?
Well, you know I'm not gay, so why did you buy me a butt plug for my birthday? I'm not going to use it.
What do you want me to do about it? I take it back, okay? I take it back. Want to spend the night in a motel?
No.
Why not?
Because you're gay and I'm straight, that's why.
Why aren't you seeing anyone?
Well, I'm seeing Suzanne again. We only split up for a few weeks when she had that funny haircut that made her look like David out of Slade. It's grown again now.
She looked weird, didn't she?
Well, but forget that. Anyway, don't want to share a bed with you again, not after last time.
Oh, jeez, what are we supposed to do?
This isn't normal, mate. Pull over.
All right,
Forget it.
all right.
Forget
Don't
it.
you...
I don't want to talk about
How
it.
was that
Pull
plot?
over. Just pull over here.
Fine, but let's
There's nothing, I'll get a B&B. And by that, I mean bed and breakfast. Not bull and bollocks, as you call it.
Get
right?
one thing straight.
Not interested. See ya.
Oh dear.
Excellent.
Oh, little Karl Pilkington.
When Harry Met Barry, it's a classic film.
What's the,
What song was I talking about? That, you know.
Yeah, we
Like
know.
New York
What song
and
was
stuff.
Yeah, what song, yeah, okay.
Artist will do, or the song title, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Email only ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We can squeeze in a tune, and then I hope...
Oh,
the
Monkey
final
News.
Monkey News.
Oh,
Oh, what tune have we got? How long is it?
3 minutes. It's a nice one, though.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Bit of Amy Man.
Fantastic.
Alright.
Red Vines, Amy Mann. We've been playing now some of our favourite tunes, and after Monkey News, Destiny Collins, we're going to leave you with one of our mutual favourite tracks of all time.
We won't say what it is yet.
We won't say what it is, it's a little surprise. Then Destiny Collins is in, with little Boyd Hilton, Carl's twin brother.
The answer to Carl's quiz question. Carl, what was the question?
It was, what was the song that I was talking about in that,
Harry Met Barry.
yeah.
With Billy Crystal, The Killing of Georgie.
Yeah,
Of course,
Rod
the song by
Stewart,
Rod
good
Stewart,
song.
and Stephen Farron from Essex wins another
DVDs and stuff.
Tat.
Alright.
Alright, well, this is the final one. Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee, that Monkey News, you
Right, well, this Monkey News story, right, it's about, this fella, a couple of fellas in Texas,
Yeah.
sort of running a farm.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to say, they're definitely fellas. Well, how tall are they?
no,
Can we
they were
just let...
Okay, they are human beings. These two are human beings.
Time's against us.
They're
Rick.
running this farm and that, and anyway, so they're outside getting the cattle, and he turns round, right?
It's just that cow's...
Couple of monkeys walking about, so he knows what's going on, right? So anyway, so it's in Texas. They don't know what to do with the monkeys. There isn't a zoo. It's fairly barren there, isn't it? You know what I mean? Not much going about.
Yeah.
So the other fella who runs the farm with him said, "Look, we need a bit of an hand." Right? So, said, let's teach them some stuff, and the monkeys were happy with that, because they were lost anyway, right? So they had
They had nothing to do. They were bumming around, they were looking for work.
They'd hired a motorhome. They'd gone out of their way.
Maybe it's like the Hulk, they're like Bruce Banner wandering around going, oh, I need some work. You won't get angry, will you?
So anyway, right, so they taught these monkeys how to ride a horse, right? So they've both got a...
Sorry, you're sure Charlton Heston's not going to pop up? You're sure you weren't watching a video last night and thought it was a documentary?
They've both got a horse each, right? They've been given, like, a little lasso and all that business.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't talk
Right.
shit, Carl.
So, anyway, it's going well, and it carried on for about 2 years, this, right? It's like, you know, rounding up the cattle every night and all that.
Yeah.
So, the two fellas are chatting, going, it's worked out well, hasn't it?
Right, if there's a hostile takeover, and they sort of like buy up 51% of the shares
So
or
they
something...
said, for this to continue, the monkeys are getting old a bit now. We need a little woman monkey in here to sort of get some kids going for, like, the future farm people.
Forward
Right?
planning, yeah.
So they get a little woman monkey.
They decided to only hire monkeys from Ireland.
Why not? It's working. Why mess with something when it's not broke, right? So they get the little woman monkey in. They have kids and all that business, right? But the problem was, right, when they first got the woman monkey in, it was like, well, which one's gonna have the woman? Right? So they started sort of fighting a bit and what have you. But because they'd seen the owners of the farm with, like,
Don't
guns
tell
and
me the
stuff,
baby monkeys didn't want to go into the family business, went off to be a lawyer.
they had a bit of a shoot-off.
Shut up!
They got two monkeys, right? And
Don't stop!
because they'd seen the owners with guns and what have you.
Yeah, no, that sounds...
So they had a bit of a shoot-off.
Yeah.
That's how they sorted it out.
And who won?
I think it was George. The one called George.
Right.
So I think they had 17 kids. The farm's still running. So that's like the last little monkey news there. Good little
Rick,
happy ending to that one.
if you were to rub your nipple against his lips while I held him down?
Right, come off it now. Come on. No, I'm not doing it.
Bruce Springsteen, Thunder Road, last track on XFM's Ricky and Steve. You can check this all out on the webcam. Get his arm out of the way, get the arm out of the way!
This happened on Scum!
Mary's dress away.
And here we are, pre-recorded, because we did this a few weeks ago, because we're not here at the moment, are we? We're away on that. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington.
He's not actually with us,
No.
he'll be in some of the best of clips that will be coming up shortly.
Yeah, this is just us, isn't it?
This is just us. We did this, when did we do this, Rick? A couple of weeks back.
Hold on, what is it? What
It's
day
the
is it?
27th today.
Yeah, well,
I enjoyed Christmas, I loved Christmas.
I loved Christmas.
I had a great time. What did you get?
Loads of presents.
So did
and
I.
I'm glad they made it to #1.
I'm really glad.
Stroke, he, she.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the pop idols, Cliff Richard, Westlife, made it to #1.
Bo Selector.
Bo Selector.
Yeah, just delete that as,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna play some of the best of, some of the greatest moments of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Ever heard on XFM 104.9. What about this? Do you remember this one?
Oh, which one is it?
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Over there, Karl Pilkington. The man who believes anything. I think it might be a condition due to his little round head. It's sort of like, it might be a new condition that we can call cranial spherity. And because it presses on his lobes, and the only sort of upshot of that is he's normal in every way, but he believes everything he reads or
Yeah.
sees on Anna Nova. Alright?
Talking of which, Rick, I don't really follow the news.
No.
It's mainly boring, isn't it? Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it is a war. It's just, it's all this nonsense before and after. When it's a war, it's, you know, it's in the middle of the war, you can watch it on telly.
True.
You get results.
True,
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a test match or something. But it's all this rubbish before and after. It drags on.
This recent war seemed, I thought, just generally, it was better presented than the previous one. Because I remember the first Gulf War, it was often during the night, and I couldn't stay up.
Yeah, because I think the American had rights to it, like the Tyson fight, so we had to get it at 2 in the morning.
Exactly.
Which is annoying. They had it, you know, their prime time in that.
Yeah,
And a lot of it was in black and white, when the bombs went in.
When the bombs going in.
So,
this time there seemed a lot more colourful stuff.
Yeah, it's much better coverage. I think they should win awards.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see
for it.
awards,
So,
yeah.
like Channel 4 won for cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a few times as well, I was quite pleased to see they actually had footage of the bombs exploding.
Yeah. No, good. Well done.
Generally, you know.
Good on you. Well done. Good on you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Costs a lot though, doesn't it?
it isn't a costly
War's
thing.
a lot more. When you got something like, you know, a Jimmy Carr game show, which probably costs about £100.
Yeah.
Like, half an hour war costs
know.
millions,
It's almost as
man.
expensive as like Terminator 3 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, you know.
But then, you know.
You got a variety.
Exactly.
Sorry, Steve, you were talking, mate.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you're aware that the World Elephant Polo Championships have taken place.
I did get it. I
You're
think
aware
they
of that?
mentioned it on, we won, didn't we?
England won.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where have they been practicing?
I don't know.
Do you remember ever at school anyone ever saying to you, are you interested in playing, polo
Do you,
with
reckon
elephants?
do you reckon it was 5 blokes in pith helmets kept sneaking into a whipsnade?
Possibly.
What are you doing, lads? We're practicing. Get down.
Yeah.
Get off them elephants.
Yeah. I didn't even know we had a team. I can't believe it.
No,
But it's like Johnny Wilkinson and the rugby lads, they're gonna get MBEs, all sorts. The elephant boys, the elephant polo boys, nothing.
They're gonna get nothing.
I haven't seen the
But,
sun
you know,
talking like
to be
them.
fair, it's not like horse polo where I don't think there's a stick long enough. I think the elephants kick it, don't they?
I think you might be right. I think they're not allowed to use their tusks.
They burst it, won't they?
I think that's...
They go, oh!
Start again.
Raheem!
Yeah.
What do you mean the elephants kick it?
Alright, I've opened a can of worms here. You know, normal polo on a horse, they have like,
yeah, stick and
mallets.
that.
yeah, they whack 'em, right? But I think it's, obviously they're too high up. I think, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just train the elephant to kick it.
So
it's like-
why are people talking about? Why not just let them have a kick about without...
Imagine that! And why does horse racing have to have a jockey? Well, they just let the horses go, on you, okay lads, on your, no cheating, on your marks, get set, go, you know, get back here. Brilliant. Play record.
Ryan Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, this is absolutely fantastic.
His version of Wonderwall. If you've not heard it
Beautiful.
yet, you'll be loving it.
You'll be loving this.
This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
There's a fella who, was in a coma for 20 years. Just, they kept, like, taking him through, like, the normal day. They'd take him to Alton Towers and stuff. doesn't know anything about it, just kept going through the motions. Don't know if they kept charging him. Kept putting him through all that. He eventually came out of it. 20 years.
And went, stop taking me to Alton Towers, it's shit!
I just thought, imagine how much post he had.
Eh?
How much post?
Oh,
Did you read about that guy in the paper, Carl? He, sorry, on the internet. He in about, I think it was about 1984, 85, he had a terrible car accident.
But this must be it.
He went into a coma.
This must be what he's talking about.
Well, they didn't take him to Alton Towers.
Of course they didn't. But you've got to try and decipher the truth from the conjecture, from the thing that I mean, don't forget, Karl says, realises that he's had a dream. He talks to Suzanne and goes, that was good, wasn't it, last night we were in the plane? She goes, no, that's a dream. He goes, oh yeah, where's my cornflakes? You got to, you know what I mean? I can now decipher what he's actually seen, what he's read.
Well, go on, what did you...
Well, I'm assuming it's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
It was a guy in, some small American town, and he'd had a car crash, and he'd gone into a coma, and his, wife had, left him. She'd gone on with her life, because he'd been in a coma since then. And he had just woken up recently.
Marriage wasn't working.
Marriage wasn't working. He just wasn't paying enough attention. He actually had, she was pregnant at the time, and so now his daughter is basically the same age as he was when he went into the coma. And, he's just started coming around, he's just started making jokes. They said, how do you feel? He said horny, which I thought was quite witty for a man who'd been in a coma for however many years. But anyway, yeah, so he's slowly trying to rebuild, what life he can.
That's
what do you make of that though? Because the thing is that he's missed. Imagine what he's missed, Carl. Imagine the music that he's missed. The
Live
TV
Aid.
programs,
Missed Live Aid.
Live Aid. He missed,
Phil Collins playing in 2 continents in one day.
Which, frankly, I'd be devastated if I discovered that.
Missed Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't. So he put on ripped jeans and they go passe.
They just have to send him a series of those I Love 1986
Exactly.
programs with Kate Thornton filling him in on what he's missed.
Exactly. Peter Kay reminding him of space operas.
Yeah,
he remembers those.
Talking rubbish.
Yeah. So
extraordinary though, isn't it, Carl, to think? No, obviously.
So, had he aged much? Because he hadn't had any problems or anything, no worries.
well, he probably wouldn't have, physiologically, he probably wouldn't have the wear and tear of a 43-year-old man. Because he wouldn't have sun, he wouldn't have had sort of nicotine, beer,
unless they were just feeding that to him.
Yeah, anyway, still, yeah,
So you'd feel groggy though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you might feel a bit groggy, yeah.
Well, he's not fully back to normal. I mean, there's some kind of residual brain damage.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, he can form sentences. He's got no real memory, so he can't remember a lot of things.
It was just when I saw
Carl, have you been in an accident? The Brilliant Blur, Out of Time on XFM 104.9.
One of my favourite singles of the year, and that's another thing, we'll be playing our favourite singles of the year, as well as our favourite clips of our own show.
Rick, I imagine if people have got a bit of Christmas money, they're wondering what they can spend it on.
Office DVD?
Well, other than that, these guys have got some ideas.
What, adverts? Brilliant. Placebo, Bitter End on XFM 104.9. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago, before Christmas. I hope you had a great Christmas. If you didn't, not our fault, really, is it?
Nothing to do with us.
Wouldn't have thought we'd have.
We're well over time because we've got plenty of cash now, thanks to a lot of you who probably bought the Office DVD.
Yeah,
probably got
and
that.
If you
in
haven't
stock
yet, and you've maybe got vouchers or money, still available.
Still there in the shops.
Still available. You can still make it the best-selling DVD of all time.
Please
do.
Yeah.
Please do. I'll tell you what you want to hear there before you make your mind up. I'll tell you what, if you like this next clip, go and buy the Office DVD. I think you will. It's a brilliant clip.
It's the one where we talk about, well, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
What's the best job you've ever had still, Carl? Talk like basis. It is still
Paper round.
Is it still the paper round?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, it was good though. If you look at it, like, you know, what I liked about it, you're your own boss.
No, you're not. You're not your own boss.
No,
the
guy who runs
news
the news
agent is your boss.
Alright. But then once you get out and you've got your papers and that, you sort of, you're on your
Do
own.
what you want
can
as long
think
as you
about
deliver the
stuff.
papers exactly to the places he said you are in the time he said.
Yeah.
It's
And I do.
freedom, isn't it? Any jobs you wouldn't do?
Go
I've just thought of one that you wouldn't do
on.
with your sort of mild homophobia.
Well, I'm not.
Proctologist.
What's that?
Basically sticking your finger at other people's arses.
Right, well, I wouldn't do that, no. Why have you got to do that?
What do you mean, why have you got to do
Well,
that?
why does anyone need that doing?
Does they got to look if they've got a arse-ache or something?
Which trainee doctor makes that their speciality?
Do you know what I mean? That must be, right, we got a place for proctologists, and it's you, Meadows. You came last.
Oh, seriously, what? I'm not the arse doctor, am I?
Yeah, you came last.
Oh, I'm a bum GP, I can't believe it.
Yeah, you got to, oh, I can't believe this.
Yeah. Tell you a job I don't like.
What?
I wouldn't want to be doing. The woman, there's a little woman who sits in the little snack stall on Finchley Road station.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it really. She is surrounded by snacks. She can't move for snacks. It's
Does
like,
it look like American Beauty, but with different...
not dissimilar to that.
Yeah.
It's a little hut on the station. And it's like, if you go to the seaside, you can put your head through one of those cardboard cutouts and it looks like you're a big fat person or whatever and you can have your photo taken. It's like an equivalent of that, but it's just snacks everywhere. She's got bananas up to her chin. She's got chocolate coming down to her eyes, crisps either side of her. She can't move. She can't do 360 degrees. She's like packed in there. I don't know how she gets in there.
I think they put her in there first, and okay, pour in the bananas.
Yeah.
Then they go pour in the nuts.
She has 2 hours of makeup before they open.
Yeah.
Dressing her in there. Because I'll ask for something from the fridge, and she cannot turn her head to see. She has to go by feel alone, just to feel the fridge, and get stuff out and pass it. And often I'll say, that's not what I wanted, but she can. You've got to let her off. It's extraordinary.
Dear.
But there's no music playing,
Does she have
there's nothing.
to sell her way out of it?
Exactly.
If it's a slow day, she's stuck there till the next day.
Yeah, it's like a world-breaking attempt.
Yeah. Carl, what job wouldn't you want to do? Well, any job. You're a lazy...
You're joking, aren't you? I've done loads of stuff. I'm quite happy now doing what I'm doing.
Yeah? You look happy.
Trying to think.
You sound happy.
Yeah, I mean, calm down. You on drugs?
I'm alright.
Are you on
happy
E?
before England have won and that. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, go on, happy for them.
I'm happy in that.
Yeah, what do you mean happy for them? We are England. Happy for us? Yeah. I mean, we didn't play. I did very little towards it.
No.
It was mainly Johnny Wilkinson.
Yeah, I barely contributed. Switching on the TV was about as much as I did.
Exactly. And shouting, come on!
Yeah.
Talking about jobs and that, though, I was reading the other day about, like, you know, rubbish jobs that people have had and stuff.
I haven't got time when I'm at work, man. I just get on with it. I'm not squiddly diddly. Fingers in pies, different jobs. Go on.
Do you know Ivor the Terrible?
Ivan.
He,
his Russian, that was the Welsh fella. It was bloody awful, but not as bad as his Russian cousin, Ivan. Yeah. Go on.
He had a fella doing some work for him, right? This fella built his house.
Yeah.
After it was done, right, the terrible fella was like,
fella Ivan.
He was going, oh, it's brilliant, you've done a good job there.
Yeah.
I don't want you to build another one like that. Took his eyes out. Just stopped him making an house like that.
One? Blimey.
That's bad, isn't it?
Why didn't he take away his trowel? Then he could have seen, but he couldn't have built a house without a trowel. You can't build a house without a trowel.
Yeah.
I suppose he probably later thought that, once he'd been nicknamed Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
He thought, why? Because you gouge people's eyes out.
Yeah, but I didn't want to build another house.
I know, but...
Take his trowel away. What would I have been then? Well, Ivan the Crafty at most.
Exactly, yeah.
Ivan the Jealous, you know, Ivan the Spoilt Brat, but... Gouge someone's eyes. That is bloody terrible. I'm surprised you're not called Ivan the... Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna go down in history like with Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
He's mainly remembered for impaling people.
Yeah. He did a lot of other stuff.
Did a load of great charity work he did.
The impaling is the thing that's really gone down in history. When were you reading about Ivan the Terrible?
No, it's just
or Ivor the Terrible is the thing you remembered from this informative article?
No, it was just little bits like that. Talking about him, there was a thing about someone who worked for that fella who painted the ceiling.
Sistine Chapel?
Yeah. There was a thing, a woman who worked for him in his house. And,
I love how you assimilate information when it's just bordering on the academic, or just the interesting and true. It's wonderful. Ivor the Terrible gouged someone's eyes out 'cause built him an house. That fella who painted that ceiling had a woman work for him. Imagine if you wrote that down in an essay. Imagine if you wrote that in a school essay.
Well, you'd probably end up with not getting a grade, or...
Yeah, or thinking you turned up to more than you had.
Exactly. Anyway, the woman who lived with...
Yeah, the woman who lived in a shoe, go on.
Yeah, there was this woman who lived with him, and, she used to, like, you know, go out and do all this shopping and that.
Yeah.
But because she couldn't read or write, he used to have to draw everything that he wanted.
Why couldn't you just tell her?
I don't know.
No, but no, wait. That's an excellent point. Could she talk?
Yeah, but if it's a big list and that... loads of different coloured paints.
But why couldn't she draw on a piece of paper? Why did he have to do it?
Because he's a better drawer, isn't he?
That's the point. That's it. That is. We were just looking for the logic of the story. You found it.
You've done it. Play a record. He's a better drawer. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
I'm amazed that these are the highlights and that we've strung it out this long, Rick.
But the good thing about this is, we're not here, we recorded this a couple of weeks ago, just the links, right? This has taken us about 10 minutes for the whole show. We get paid the same. Why don't we do this every week?
That's a great idea. High five.
Right. Listen to this clip, it's brilliant.
I think that my new TV is too big, Rick.
I said that
I know,
when you
I don't know
bought
what
it.
I was thinking.
But I can't believe it. He talked about this buying it. He's got a bit of cash now, of course. And, what is it? 42 inches? 42-inch plasma screen. What did it cost you? $3 grand or something?
Don't tell. That's
wow,
gross.
it's ridiculous.
£3.5
grand. Big spender. Of course it's too big.
Well, I can't get far enough back in my room, in my living room for it.
You know, you're meant to be, I think, 4 times the screen size away from it.
Really?
To get out from the air. So that's 4 times 42 inches you're meant to be sitting away from it, which is impossible.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to just get friendly with the neighbours.
Yeah, watch it through a hat.
Yeah.
If that's the case, though, aren't you better off just getting a portable?
What?
I don't understand that rule. What are you saying?
Well, you're meant to be 4 times the screen size away from the TV.
But then what's the point in having a big telly if you've got to keep moving further back? Get a portable.
and sit right next to it.
Do see your point. Why do people go to the cinema then?
Did you see films that aren't out yet?
Fair enough, he's got you there.
Done.
I'd tell you this though, I had it delivered, and are you supposed to tip delivery men?
Of course you are.
I don't know. You see,
well, if
I've never had anything delivered before. I never spent that much money.
Not if it's a courier with an envelope, but if it's a bloke who's struggled up the stairs, two fat blokes with a fridge, then give him a $5 for a drink.
But the problem was, I didn't realise, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I've got to tip him. And the guy was leaving, and my mobile phone went off in my pocket, and I reached in to get it. He put his hand out, thinking it was going to tip. I went, it's just my phone. And I felt terrible after he left. I didn't know. What was I going to do? Run down the street and offer him a $5?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
I'm not made of money. I just spent it on TV.
Yeah, I've got no money, mate.
Yeah.
I just spent it all on this. I had to clean out my jar, everything, the drawers.
Yeah, I'd take some, bottles back. The problem was, it took me forever to wire it in. I thought, I'm not going to pay for someone to wire it up, you know. So it took me about 3 hours to wire it in, and it was huge, and I got it switched on, and the first programme that was on when I got it wired in was Bargain Hunt. I'll tell you this, David Dickinson's tan almost took my eyeballs out. It was incredible. It was like X-rays.
So
the
close.
glow.
I know, a huge plasma screen with this orange thing coming out, and he keeps turning to the camera, doesn't he? Just to get you. Yeah, he turns away, you get a bit closer, they go, what's he doing? He just turns around, takes the cornea off.
What do you think, Bargain Hunters? Bargain Hunters.
Oh dear, that's why I'd buy a plasma screen to watch Bargain Hunt.
I mean, it's ludicrous. This is the problem, is because what do you watch?
I mean, have you watched anything that's been worth having?
The only thing I've watched really worth watching.
24.
Well, yeah, 24 works great, but also films. Obviously, that's the main reason I bought it, because films just look amazing on there.
Yeah, DVD on the plasma screen.
So if you're into films and that, it's just that I only, I've just got the 5 channels and flicking about. I'm not impressed. I mean, I can understand why more people listen to radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, not this one, but go on.
Well, when was it? When was the last time I sort of sat down and had time, because I'm always busy doing stuff and that.
Sure. Moaning takes up about 3 hours a day.
When did Wimbledon finish?
A couple of weeks ago.
Right. Found myself sat there, right? I'm not having a go. I know we stopped Cheeky Freak of the Week and all that, right? So I'm not going to be having a go.
Christ,
I sat there.
I'm scared.
No, I'm not having a go. You've always got to remember that.
Go on, just get on with it. Get on with it. I'll apologise after.
I'm just saying, watching Wimbledon, it wasn't, one of the major games. It was little fellas in a wheelchair having a game. Little fellas in a wheelchair.
Right.
But for me, I mean, great. They're doing a sport and everything. Don't put it on the telly.
What was up with it?
There wasn't like a rally going on. No, do you know what I mean? Do you know normally, like, with the well, not Tim Enman, but with some of the other, with some of the other players and that, they're playing for ages, aren't they? It's like, who's gonna win this and that?
Yeah.
None of that. It was just like, hit it, net.
Oh, Christ! Oh, God!
I don't know what to do.
And people would like sat there watching it as well when they've got other games going on in there. That's what I couldn't understand. If you've paid your money to get in,
yeah.
I mean, like I say, good on them if they. Do you know what I mean? But it would have been.
And they all start first in the marathon.
I just thought it would have, you know, given the game a swing ball or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I understand.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's never anything on.
XFM in the community.
Let's play a tune. Ricky Gervais, Ricky.Gervais.
Don't put my name to this last link. Don't put my name to this last link.
Ricky.Gervais, xfm.co.uk.
Oh.
Magic, Virgin, if you're listening, we are available probably sooner than we thought.
That was Radiohead and They're There. We're Not Here, alright? Pre-recorded. Coming up is, one of Karl's little film things where he puts himself into a film. It's his favourite film. It's Kes. Enjoy it. I love the fact that in pole position, in positions 1 and 2 of his favourite films of all time, is The Elephant Man and Kes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Go on.
Alright. Am I leaving the mics open a bit when this is going out, or what?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Yeah? Alright. So don't talk then, right?
Just put that hot dog down, Rick.
And this is the bit in Kes where it's the teacher and he gets up and he has to
Glover.
talk.
What's his name? Is it Brian Glover?
No,
No,
it's the other teacher.
The other one.
Anyway.
Right. Go on.
Alright, so, here we go.
Things that had actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Another one. What about you, Casper? Casper!
Alright.
Alright?
Alright.
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you?
Yeah, I heard some of it, yeah, you...
Some of it?
Just...
Stand up. Always somebody, isn't there, eh? Right, now you're going to tell us a story about yourself.
What sort of story?
I want you to think of an incident that happened to you sometime in the past that is true and that you think will interest the rest of the class. All right?
Right. What about, I work on a radio show at the weekend.
What are you going to tell us about it?
I'll just do, it's 2 hours, and it's with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, and, just sort of play music and, you know, tell stories and stuff.
What kind of stories?
Well, whatever. Like last week it was science. We were talking about, this lad who was growing, a knob on his arm, so it's weird. It's tricky, sir, because, like, with Ricky, he gets bored quick and he won't listen to the stories, and he'll start squeezing my head.
All right, I'm not interested in what he does.
That isn't normal, is it, sir, that? I mean, it sure is a bit gay.
Is he?
Just messes about, though, do you know what I mean? I try and, like, come up with good stuff, like monkey news and, like, quizzes and stuff, but then he'll just, you know, Ricky will just mess about. I mean, on Saturday he did it again, he squoze me head.
How do you spell that?
Squoze. S-Q...
Well, you're going to show us on the board. This is a new word to me.
Squoze is S-Q-U-O-Z-E.
Right, now tell us what it is.
It's when he gets me head and he puts one hand on the back of it, right? And he puts the other hand on the front of it and he just sort of swivels it.
Swivel, right down the bottom.
Oh, swivel's not it's spelled S-W-I-D-R.
How many times a day?
How many times a day does he swells it? It depends what time he gets in. If he gets in about 12:30, he could get a good 3 in. But I think, you know, I don't really want to talk about.
Well, you don't you? Well done, Billy. Big hand of applause.
That is, the effort.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the best thing you've ever done, Karl.
Cent in the club on XFM 104.9.
We're playing our favourite singles of the year,
yep.
And we're looking back over some of our favourite clips of the year. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Not done a lot. Maybe you should earn your money as you get to Mondays off for this 2 hours of nonsense.
What are you on about? I've done loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Let's have something new, something fresh.
Well, I've been looking around, right, on the internet for stuff.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Your Bible, where you get all your information about the world and the universe and morality from.
And you know, like, how I always say to you, I don't really read that much of it, I just read the headline.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Anna Nova have sort of nicked that idea to grab you.
Nicked what idea?
Well, to sort of get to the meat straight away at the top. Do you know what I mean? The headline to the story and everything.
What?
Right, these are
But
stories.
the headlines already existed, that was why you thought that was a good
not
idea?
like this, though.
Alright.
Headline. Well, these are all headlines, right? Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
You don't need...
Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling.
Yeah, that's the story. You don't need to read on. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
right?
could you read on anyway?
Can't be bothered.
Read on anyway.
Well, you have a look at that in a bit, right?
This is frustrating radio if you're sitting at home.
No,
well, it's not on. They've turned it off.
If you want to know more, you know where to go. That's what I'm saying. That's what they should do in the news. Get the news done in a minute.
There's a good story about Iraq.
Right.
Bong.
Right.
Look it up. Look it up on the internet. Anna Nova.
Give us another bong.
Bong.
Family sick of living on Butthole Road.
Oh, brilliant. Bong.
Man wears same shoes for 60 years.
Oh, bong.
This isn't that good. Some fella pulls a train with his teeth.
And in lighter news.
I know that. Joe McDonald, this one isn't very good.
And the last one, man fails to break clothes pegs on face record. She's always good. Well, that's the one I did read on about.
I love that out of all those. That's the one he read on about. Go on then.
Just,
Why is that news? He fails to make a record. So did I today.
I know, yeah.
I failed the long jump record today.
Yeah. Didn't even take part.
No, I was rubbish.
But what are the rules on world records and that?
I don't know if there are rules. There are certain things you can't. I mean, it's the Guinness Book of Records, isn't it, really, that's the arbiter, isn't it?
Yeah, but is there anything, if you said you wanted to do it, would they say, well, you can't do that?
Yeah, they've stopped some gluttony records, obviously things that are in danger, so anything that's illegal, yeah, anything that's immoral.
Yeah, like that American serial killer that just got discovered.
Yeah.
Having killed 47 women. I don't think he can make that into the Guinness Book of Records.
No, because people would be trying to beat it, won't they?
But there was some other story about a fella eating watches and that. That can't be good for you. So why don't they say, look, don't do that, do something else?
He wanted to stay regular.
Do you know what I mean, though? I just wondered
What do
if
you mean he was eating watches?
He just said he was eating watches. He got about 3 in about a minute.
How did he time it?
Do you know what I mean, though? And then the other thing is, the one that I was reading, the world record with the fellow who's pulling a train with his teeth. Does that make any difference that he's done it with his teeth?
What do you mean?
Well, what difference does it make?
Well, isn't it? It's quite hard to pull a train with your teeth, I imagine.
Well, it's pretty hard to pull a train. All I'm saying is it because he couldn't beat the fella who's pulling it with his hands?
Well,
this
is my point. I think there was one bloke with a record for the running backwards 100 metres was sort of like 11.5 seconds. And I was thinking, turn around, you'd probably have a really good go at that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like doing a marathon with a milk bottle on your head. Take the milk bottle off and see how fast you can go, you twat.
But you can just tweak it, like the fella who has done the pegs on the face, right?
Yeah.
His name's Gary Stretch Turner, right?
Right.
So, he's sort of cheating already if he's got a stretchy head, right? but
you are, right, you are one of the most stupid humans I have ever met.
Well, get me in the book. Yeah? Right? Well, listen. So Gary Stretch Turner, right? His record is 153 pegs.
Yeah.
He did it again, and he only got 150 on. So he hasn't broke his own record.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if he tweaked it a bit more, would that make a new record?
What?
Well, if he said, I've got 150 pegs on, but at the same time as eating a burger.
I see what you mean, yeah. He'd be the, world record breaker for pegs and eating burgers at the same time.
Yeah, just change it a bit. If you know you're not going to make it, just do something else.
I'm assuming the rules are set at the beginning, Carl. That's it. That's where they say, right, you're just going to do the pegs thing. You're not going to introduce burgers halfway through, are you? Definitely not. And then they have a go.
I was on one leg, not interested. How many pegs? 150.
Can I just ask very briefly, I was quite interested by the family had to move, because they lived on Butthole Road.
Yeah, I quite like that one.
Now, I don't know if I've told you before, Rick, where I used to live. I'm not going to tell you the name of the street that I used to live on, not on air, because my parents still live there, and I don't want, you know. But I'm going to write it for you now. This is the name, the genuine name of the street I used to live on. Just imagine when you're at school.
Yeah.
And like in class, for instance, in French, you've got to say, you've got to answer where you live.
Yeah.
J'habite, wherever.
Yeah.
That's the name. This is actually the name of the street we lived on.
No, it's not.
I swear to God.
That is...
Absolute right. I could phone my father now and he could confirm that for you. I swear
because he doesn't want
to God. And I tell you that...
But listen, do you know what worries me? It's the apostrophe S.
I know.
Because that's blatant.
Yes. Amazing, isn't it?
That is incredible.
But imagine how embarrassing
that was. So if I look that up in the Bristol...
You will find that in the Bristol A to Z. I swear to God.
That is really... Why have you never told me that before?
I can't believe I haven't.
That's
I'm
incredible.
still embarrassed now. Do you know, whenever I have to phone up, if I have to give that address, I always spell it instantly.
Really?
Like, somehow that'll hide it, that'll disguise the name.
But I can't get over that.
Anyway, if you perhaps live in Tits Avenue, you know, or,
Wankling Drive.
Wankling Drive, just get in touch. Let us know, we're not really interested.
This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of. I know what you're thinking. If this is the best, my Christ, what was the rest like? Well, we'll be back in a week's time, so you can, judge it for yourself live. But anyway, in the meantime, this is one of the best clips I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm laughing just thinking about what it might be.
He said he's, you know, oh God, it's like a child or a cat when it's confused. He went, Steve reckons, in ancient Greece, right, it was better to shag a bloke than a woman. And I went, well, yeah. I mean, that's about the male being, sort of a first-class citizen, much better, wasn't it? An aspiration to sleep with a beautiful man than a beautiful woman.
Women were lower-class citizens, so therefore men were seen as higher class. So to have sexual relations with a man there was no shame in that.
No.
In fact, it was looked upon.
And
as
I said, well, you know, ancient Rome. I said, you know, Nero, he'd sit in his big jacuzzi, and he used to get, you know, pretty boy men to just go into the water and just nibble at his testicles while he was having a wash.
He didn't do that.
He did. Yeah.
And he's not a gay fella.
No, well, no. I mean, you know, I don't know about Nero, but I mean, it wasn't a case of a big delineation between what was heterosexual and what was gay. It was just, you know, whatever you...
So what did this fella do then? This one who's having his...
Well, he was pretty much top boy, Nero, for a while.
He was in charge.
And, you know, and you did what you're told. If, Caesar or...
But why were people going round there? Why didn't they go, oh...
No, they weren't dropping in. It wasn't like the doors opening. I was just gonna see what Nero's doing. You'd have probably been like a delivery boy or a stable boy or something, you know, and you'd have popped round there and you'd have gone, there, right, Nero, as the tablets of stone you wanted. And they go, Pilkington, why you are here? Pop under, I don't know why he's French.
What is that?
I don't know why he's French. Just pop under the water and nibble at my testicles and you'd have done it.
Because he was Nero.
I wouldn't.
You would have.
There's no way I would have done.
Yeah, well, you would have.
What have I done? I've dropped a pizza off.
Yeah, you put around to Nero's place with a pizza.
Dropped a pizza.
Right, I'd say I've done my job. Right?
Yeah.
That's not the sort of tip I wanted.
No, he'd have said, get the little baldy chap to nibble at my testicles, and you'd have run the water.
No, I wouldn't have done it.
No,
well, you wouldn't have put my head on the water.
Right.
No, I wouldn't have done it.
Can I just say this, Steve? Not only would you be nibbling his testicles, you'd have been going mad. You'd have been noshing him just for extra. You'd have been doing everything he wanted. You'd have been going, he'd have gone, I didn't ask you to do that. You'd have been going mental. They'd have been chewing, slurping, smacking, poking. You'd have chopped, you'd have gnawed his packet off. You'd think you're eating Walker's crisps. There'd be bubbles, there'd be blood. Oh, it'd be horrible. That was Bowie and Waterloo Sunset. Love that. Love the original. Love Bowie. Bowie was my gig of the year. These are my singles of the year. These are our clips of the year. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant. We're just picking some lovely little bits and pieces.
Do you remember when we talked about this?
That's the sort of thing I think we need now, right? We've covered a lot of stuff.
What, education?
Teaching, yeah.
Well, okay, what do you want to know?
Don't know.
Have you got something? Can you educate us on anything?
I've been reading bits
So could we bring back just for one night only, educating Ricky?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah? Do you think it warrants that?
I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean?
About what?
It sounds perfect. Play the jingle.
Oh, educating Ricky, he's getting smarter.
A couple of things happened in the week that I read about.
Okay.
Keeping up on what's going on in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One was about that Galileo fella.
Okay.
Was it about 1636? Was it?
I think it might have been
not
earlier.
bad.
Go on.
Did some stuff with light and that?
Yeah, he did lots of physical experiments, yeah.
Is that it then, Carl, is it? He did some stuff with light and that.
What did he do with light? What was that?
Well, I think he invented the first...
Telescope?
Yeah, telescope. So I think it's a particular lens, though, and he did experiments where he dropped famously, two different, weighted, balls from Pisa, and, they hit the ground at the same time, showing that doesn't matter, the weight doesn't matter, but air resistance does, and stuff like that.
I think he probably explained it a bit better than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Karl.
Sure.
But did they need to know
He's
stuff?
just thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Did they need to know stuff like that back then?
What do you mean, did they need to know stuff like that? It's just...
There weren't people going around going, I've got to drop these two things off the Leaning Tower of Pizza. I just don't know which one's going to land first.
Yeah, I need to know. What do you need to
Bring
know
me
that?
Galileo.
Yeah.
It's for a bet.
Yeah.
No, but if I was knocking about then, I'd be like, stop messing with that. We need a telly. Or, do you know what I mean?
I bet he thinks the Flintstones is real.
I know.
That'd be brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was a caveman. I'd make a telly out of rock.
Yeah.
And a pelican
and a
as
car
a cement
that I just
mixer.
ran along the road with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a car.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really got the internal combustion engine. Can you stick your feet through the bottom? Yeah, just get me a car, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, so I learned that. And then,
What?
He learned his name.
Yeah.
Other people I learned the name of this week.
Oh, if a chimp could watch telly. Go on, Karl, go on.
And there was also a fella in the week who said, that women shouldn't be wearing trousers.
Why?
Because they don't look good in them. What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
These are the only things that have caught your eye over the last couple of weeks. This is the entire news.
Galileo did something with light. A French fella said women shouldn't wear trousers. See, that to me wouldn't pass as education.
It's not education.
I don't know where you could ever use that. I don't know when that would ever be applicable to life.
I just like reading stuff that sort of reminds me of... Do you know what I mean? If I read it and it gets me thinking, I think that's a good little piece.
But, I mean, but surely can't you just sort of like sit near something that vibrates to keep your brain going? Or shake your head every now and again? I mean, what does this do? You mean it makes you start using your brain?
But what aspect of a Frenchman said women shouldn't wear trousers got your mind working? What questions were you asking?
Because I thought that's a bit daft, innit? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it ends there with me. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for me to go on that.
He closes
your mind's still whirring.
Yeah, go on. What did you think? Let's go through this. Oh, I wish we could download his thoughts.
I know.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great, like a DVD?
Like a cartoon.
Imagine that extra footage on the Office DVD.
Yeah, Carl's brain.
That would be
with
amazing. Oh, with a commentary. Go on.
Women wearing trousers and that, right? On the estate that I grew up in.
Yeah.
On, right? There's a woman about 4 houses down. Right? Rough. Now, she used to wear leggings.
Yeah.
No, they're a bad idea.
They are a terrible idea. I agree with you there, Karl. If you're a lady of
What
the
colour?
normo persuasion...
Were they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
What,
Yeah.
toast and
Just
horse
bits.
droppings? Yeah, go on, yeah.
And she used to, she's quite a big woman.
Sure.
Pauline Quirk, I think
Yeah,
we
well,
described her as.
Look like a light bulb when
It
she was
is those
bending
kind of
over in
women that are
leggings.
attracted to leggings.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They are drawn to them like a moth. that shoots on a flame.
Yeah.
She used to wear them, and that's what I remember when I read this piece. And she used to work on one of those sex line things.
Right.
She used to do that. But
what was she, an engineer?
the The weird thing with her was, she had big eyelids.
Right. Go on.
That were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she had big eyelids?
It was another one of them popular things round our way, do you know, like...
What do you mean popular things? They go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all the rage, can I get some big eyelids, please?
No, it was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids, they could hardly open their eyes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's one of them popular things round where I grew up. People had big eyelids, they could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean? What sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads, you got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
Yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Anyway, so there's this big eyelided woman with the leggings.
And that's what I'm saying to you, though. That's... When I read that story with people with trousers, I went from that
to a woman who used to have big eyelids. I still know the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Right.
His dad had it, and same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I used to say to my mum, I'm going round to Dave's house, and
or Drew
say,
Pig,
well,
as you call him.
that's all right, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car, because he could hardly see. He had to have his head.
He had to tilt his head back to keep his eyelids open.
Sure. Didn't he have a couple of matches with him at all times?
What a load of gobbledygook. This began as educating Ricky.
I know,
so
it's like
he was
people
thinking,
with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well.
Yeah.
If I mention the trousers, Ricky will probably be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Carl. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
Like I said to you, though, the reason I did this was to get that kitchen, right? Now...
Brilliant.
As we speak now, right? Builder's in the flat. He's been annoying me.
Of course he has. Of course he has. What's he been doing?
Well, when he turned up on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Wanders in. And the first thing he says to me is, said, the pub across the road, is it any good? I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You're working on the kitchen.
Think of saying that to a builder. Probably making conversation. Probably meant, do they do a toasted sandwich? Because I've got a half-hour lunch break. Not an hour, like Karl Pilkington. So, I'll probably there and get a nice, cheese and tomato sandwich.
So is that genuinely what you said to him?
Yeah. So Suzanne had a go at me saying, why have you said that? He hasn't even started on it yet.
I cannot believe that.
You're unbelievable, Karl. And you say it's us that are rude, crass,
I wasn't being rude. I just was letting him know. Do you know what I mean? I know what
he knows what he was there for. He had it down on his little docket. Do the kitchen this week. He didn't come down and go, what did I come out for? Was it to go to the pub for a week?
Why am I wearing these overalls?
Yeah. Who's the little bald mank twat insulting me? Let me just check. Let me call the head office.
I wasn't having a go, though. I mean, they should have finished it yesterday. And they're there now. Right, on their own. And what annoyed me is they turned up late today.
Hold on, Karl. I've just realised something. They're probably listening to the radio. This, I assume, tuned to XFM, isn't it, in your kitchen?
Yeah, but they don't know it's me, do they? You know what I mean?
No. They'd go, he's got a whiny mank voice as well. So's the bloke who owns this place. And the bloke who owns this place, when I said, what's that pub like across the road, said, well, you won't be bothering that, he's working on this. No, he won't be able to put two and two together, will he? You've suddenly, the penny's dropped, hasn't it? You've suddenly realised, look at his face! Yeah. He's suddenly realised they might know it's him!
And they could be listening, and they're gonna clean you out, mate.
Oh, if you are the builder, working in, where is it? I won't say the address, but it's...
Central London, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go mental. Have whatever you want.
Opposite that pub that you like,
He'll probably be in there now, so he won't be listening.
Oh, insulting a British workman.
He should have been in today.
Mental.
He should have been in at 8 this morning, which annoyed me anyway. Why, I really don't understand why they've got to start so early, right?
Yeah.
But he said he'll be there for 8, turned up at 9:30, right? Wanders in, and what annoys me is, he could have left all this downstairs. He had a paper under his arm, one of those crossword books, and a pot noodle. Now, I'm not being funny, but most of them take quite a bit of time. A crossword book, he's not happy with just the one that's in the paper.
If you're listening, if you are the builder that's listening now, doing Karl's flat, what about pissing in the laundry basket? That was Jane's Addiction. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
This was a clip show. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. It's not over yet, because tonight at 9:50 is the second part of The Office Christmas specials. It's brilliant. Watch it, and we'll be back next week live. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Bye.
Have a great new year. Probably you're thinking, Rick, isn't it time that we do our usual roundup of what's been happening in the news?
Yeah.
Which we always do every week.
Yeah.
We always do something, which is, I mean, basically, if you're listening and you're a new listener, say you work at a newspaper, we always try to be informative, just try and put stuff out there that just educates people, informs
What are you thinking? Well, I said Monkey News is coming up, but what have you got?
No, I was just looking on the net there and just found a couple of quite important news stories, probably worth mentioning. Policeman caught photographing. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It's just the phrasing, I suppose. It's the headline. Policeman caught photographing up woman's skirt.
No, he wasn't up there taking a picture of Big Ben.
No.
He wasn't going, can I just sit up here? I'm just going to take a picture of that seagull over there.
No.
He was facing the camera up a woman's skirt.
He was indeed.
Right.
A policeman in Japan is facing disciplinary measures after he was caught photographing up a woman's skirt with a hidden camera while on duty. The 42-year-old sergeant, who's not been named, used a digital camera to secretly snap the shots when the woman was reporting a stolen bicycle.
So he was actually
doing his proper job. He'd obviously thought to himself, I'll bring him a digital camera today. On the off chance a beautiful woman comes in to report a crime or robbery, I'll have it ready, I'll have it positioned, you know, in such a way. But this is interesting. This is how he got caught. Okay? The woman became suspicious after she saw a flash go off.
Brilliant.
I mean, this
not so secret at all.
Sorry, did I just see your shoe? Your shoe just seemed to just spring into life there. It was light. There was light.
Yeah, I think I've had someone set fire to some magnesium that was on the end of it. It won't happen again.
Well, it's only you and I in here, and your shoe was just suddenly lit.
Why are you standing like that? Why is your shoe just sort of like between my feet?
There's no reason. This is how I always stand.
What did the bike look like? Flash? So, are you taking pictures of my funny?
No. And no, I'm not. And you should be wearing knickers anyway.
Well, how do you know that?
What?
How did you know I'm not?
How did I know what?
I'm not wearing any...
I didn't know you. I don't know what you've got up there.
Well...
I don't know what it looks like, and there's no way I could. Of course, it would be roughly that conversation in Japanese.
I know, yeah.
You know, you just mentioned there about, sort of, no knickers and that.
Is this gonna be your Auntie Nora?
No.
Right.
It's just, you know, like, the last flat that I lived in, I always had a good view across the road, and I could see, it was the hairy... There was the hairy Chinese kid. Not hairy Chinese kid, he was just a Chinese kid, actually.
Yeah.
Running about. Because that's rare, isn't it? Hairy Chinese kids are very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's only one official sighting, isn't there? In one of those shit little magazines that you buy.
And there was the old woman who didn't move, she was just sat there reading a book all the time,
who we think possibly died and no one came round for weeks,
But, and now I've moved, right? And it was quiet for a bit. I always look at what view I'm getting, right? Looks across and it was just sort of empty, sort of flats ready for people to move in and that, right? Anyway, people are in there now, right? And they've put all the furniture in, but I haven't put any curtains up.
Oh.
Right. So anyway, I'm sort of washing up, just having a look out the window.
Yeah.
Right. Girl sort of, wandering about, you know, knickers on. Right?
With no knickers on?
You mean naked?
No knickers. Well, she had a bra on.
Right, okay.
But,
she was probably looking for a knickers.
So, I thought, oh. And I don't know how long I was looking.
No.
Right. But anyway, she looks across.
Oh, God.
I think she spotted me.
Yeah.
I think, oh, God. I felt really bad.
Yeah.
I said to Suzanne...
Sorry, is this some sort of Peeping Tom confession?
No idea.
Well, it's not, that's the thing though.
Peepington.
If I was peeping, she was peeping as well, because she was looking over. Works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, all she could see of you was your bald head.
Yeah.
No, but
and your hands moving as you were washing up. And some white-looking substance frothing up.
Particularly stubborn stain on this glass.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Imagine if she looked across. I'm assuming your sink is lower than the window.
But didn't she just, like, just cover up or something? Or she looked back and go, oh, you're looking at my fanny?
Well, the thing I did...
What?
I thought, oh, just sort of drop me boxer shorts. Because I thought... Well, Suzanne said, what are you doing?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, just so they can see me cheeks of me.
What are you talking about?
No, because I thought if she thinks I'm walking about in the nude as well, then we've both got something out of it.
Carl!
This sounds like a bad excuse in court.
I know.
So sorry, you were looking at a woman dancing around naked, right? So the only thing you could do was immediately drop your boxer shorts.
So she looked across, saw you fully clothed, saw you took your boxer shorts.
No, she wouldn't have done, because it's sort of just the top half and the sink's at a side angle, so I was sort of looking out.
So she wouldn't have seen your trousers then anyway?
No, she did. I moved in front of the window more.
So you then made them... You actually climbed in front of them.
Oh, this is amazing!
So you climbed in front of the window to show off
it wasn't
your naked lower half.
Suzanne said, "What are you doing?"
I bet she did.
What are you looking at?
So I sent you in here to clean up.
What are you doing? I'm just taking my trousers down, stand out the window. Why? Because there's a naked woman across the road. What do you think I'm doing, Suzanne? I'm exposing myself while looking at some free fame.
Leave it.
What's up with you, Suzanne?
Anyway,
Wait a minute, can I just check? A final question. What did the woman across the way... What happened? What was her reaction?
I didn't look again. I just thought you've seen a bit of action as well. We're both happy. Let's leave it.
Brilliant.
So were you waddling around like a penguin with your trousers around your ankles?
I just was walking about, and Suzanne said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'll explain to you in a bit, but don't look out the window because then it's
excellent."
obvious."
Then he sees she calls her husband to look at Carl walking around naked. He goes, "Oh, she's got a quick, Suzanne, get him out. There's anyone within you. Get some more friends. They've gone one more."
So you paid your dues.